What's up, everybody? This is John with Buddies with Crypto, and on today's episode, we are reading some news about Sam Bankman-Fried, the former CEO of FTX. He's finally speaking to people. He spoke to a journalist not too long ago, maybe 2 days ago. I'm gonna get into the article from Coindesk, but before we start that, I think it's a good idea to just take a look at Bitcoin real quick, and I'm gonna go over Crypto Poppy's finance technical analysis on Bitcoin, because we haven't been putting those out. Just been too busy, haven't got time. He's busy, I'm busy, so let me move to the side. Let's go look at Bitcoin and Crypto Poppy's analysis here. So this is his analysis on Twitter. Follow at ButtersMood209. So the analysis: Bitcoin testing the bottom of the Fibonacci right here. The level 0 right here, $15,560 on the weekly time frame. This is the weekly time frame. Each candle is 1 week's worth of trading. If these levels don't hold, we will see BTC under 10,000 in the near future. So we've been talking about this 10,000 price mark for Bitcoin for a while, and if, like Crypto Poppy says, these levels don't hold up right here, we almost likely will see $10,000 Bitcoin. Which, I mean, it's not gonna be bad for the people that want to buy Bitcoin. It's gonna be great. It's gonna make the other altcoins dip a little more, and if it goes to 10,000, I'm probably gonna buy my current holdings. I'm gonna probably buy a little more, some more AMP. What else do I have? I have EOS, I have Polymath, I have NCT. What else is it? REN. So yeah, I have a few other holdings that if it dips down to 10,000, the older holdings might dip down another 30%, and I'm gonna buy some more. So this is the time to collect, buy the dip, not financial advice, because we are swing trading here, so we're just building our position as much as we can, collect as much as we can. So once the swing happens to the upside, we're ready. We bought at the lowest we could, and we'll hopefully get huge profits on those. So that's just a little bit of analysis on Bitcoin. Is still looking very indecisive. It's not going too high, too low, but people just still waiting to see what the market does. Nobody's really sure what's going to happen, but I mean, we have a feeling that it's going to go lower, right? But you never know. This is the crypto market. After all, it's the Wild West still. So that's for that. Let's get into the article now. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Let's read this article now. Sam Bankman-Fried addresses withdrawals, FTX collapse in a newly released audio interview. This is by Coindesk, okay, written by Sam Kessler. The FTX founder said he unpaused Bahamian FTX withdrawals to appease local customers, and added his lawyers to the groups of people he said he can, and added his lawyers to the groups of people he said can go F themselves. Okay, so he's telling everybody how to F themselves. Okay, so this is the interview. This was with let me see, let me keep reading. Sam Bankman-Fried's crypto empire blew up in a spectacular fashion at the beginning of this month, and questions continue to swirl around the motives and the mechanics that caused crypto exchange FTX and its sister company Alameda Research to collapse. Among the more unprecedented elements of the FTX saga has been the fact that Bankman-Fried, who was raised by two lawyers, can't seem to keep his mouth shut despite mounting legal threats. I think this guy, he leveled up. Very powerful man. After he started this company, he was able to lobby politicians from both sides. You might have seen him publicly with the Democrats, but he also lobbied with the Republicans. I think that's what a lot of businessmen do. They support the Republicans in public, but at the same time, they might be giving donations to the Democrats. That's just politics. After cryptic tweets in a viral DM, after cryptic tweets, let me see, make sure I'm not covering the news article. Yeah, let me move to the side. After cryptic tweets and viral DM exchange with the Vox reporter, in which he said F the regulators and admitted that his philanthropic identity was largely manufactured for PR reasons. Bankman-Fried's actual voice is being heard for the first time post FTX collapse, with newly released audio from Tiffany Fong, a crypto investor turned whistleblower who initially gained attention for leaking audio that show Celsius Network, the now bankrupt crypto lending platform, plan to use cynical crypto-based solution to repay users of its earned lending platform. In a phone call with Fong on November 16, several days after FTX filed for bankruptcy protection, Bankman-Fried rehashed many of the same defenses and rationalizations for his behaviors that he has shared previously in other places to explain what went wrong. In general, Bankman-Fried's defense, and continues to be, that he greatly mistook how leveraged he was. This explanation is wholly unsatisfying, given that it's failed to address precisely how FTX and Alameda misappropriated billions of dollars in FTX users' deposit. You don't get in a situation like I got you don't get into a situation like I got in if you make all the right decisions. Bankman-Fried admitted once again. So yeah, I mean, so they were mixing, commingling funds between Alameda Research, which like a trading house that he started with his all his minions, I guess, and also they were commingling with FTX, so they were both digging their hand in the same pot, getting all that money out. Let's see, unhappy lawyers. So surprisingly, Bankman-Fried's lawyers. Oh, and also yes, I will post a link to this video so you can listen to him talk about it with what's the lady's name? Tiffany Fong. Okay, let me keep reading. Unhappy lawyers. Unsurprisingly, Bankman-Fried's lawyers were unhappy with his decision to speak out in the early days of FTX fiasco. You have to promise that you never, ever, ever say you effed up again, Bankman-Fried said. His lawyers told him, I told them to go F themselves. On the call, Bankman-Fried provided some context around why he, for a brief time after pausing the FTX platform, reopened withdrawals just for residents of the Bahamas, where Bankman-Fried and FTX are based. Initially, FTX claimed that this was to comply with a request from Bahamian regulators. The Bahamian government disputed that, and on his call with Fong, so did Bankman-Fried. I gave the Bahamian government one day heads up that we were going to do it. They didn't say yes or no, they didn't respond, and then we did it. The reason I did it was critical to the exchange being able to have a future. Bankman-Fried said, you do not want to be in the country with a lot of angry people in it, and you do not want your company to be incorporated in a country with a lot of angry people in it. He continued, this was us trying to create a regulatory pathway forward for the exchange just to kind of appease the citizens of the country that we're currently in. As for the whether Bankman-Fried created a backdoor to discreetly move user funds to Alameda without attracting attention, as reported by Reuters, Bankman-Fried suggested that I certainly didn't build a backdoor there and I didn't know exactly what they were referring to. Bankman-Fried said that he couldn't have built a backdoor because I don't even know how to code. Though this defense doesn't really address Reuters' core claim, which is that he used a backdoor, not that he built one. So yeah, so I don't believe him. I'm sure a lot of other people don't believe him. Like, we know he was taking money out towards the end of it. Like, he just pulled out all that money. I mean, this guy has no credibility anymore. It's gone. But I mean, you'd be surprised. Probably some people do believe him still. I think like Kevin O'Leary still believes him, which makes me doubt Kevin O'Leary a little more. I was trusting his support for crypto. Now I'm not sure. We'll see. Lobbying under scrutiny. Bankman-Fried was one of the largest donors in the month's U.S. midterms elections, and his once cozy relationship with politicians and regulators has come under intense scrutiny in recent weeks as it becomes clear that his business empire might have been a fraud. His sizable donations to Democrats in particular have invited a wave of controversy and conspiracy theories, but Bankman-Fried told Fong that he's also made dark donations to Republicans that weren't as publicly known. So yeah, there you go. He was hiding it. Let's see. Let me get a drink. To explain why he intended to make these donations without attracting attention, the FTX founder said that most journalists are secretly liberal and he just didn't want to have that fight. That's from my. He didn't want to argue about politics with the journalist. So he was donating to both parties, but he was just openly being Democrat, but behind closed doors, he was also donating to Republicans. As for why Bankman-Fried continued to speak out rather than remain silent after his house of cards came toppling down, he said that at the end of the day, I'm starting to trust my gut on things like this. He said. 2 weeks later, Bankman-Fried is still trusting his gut. Although the November 16 call with Fong is the first time Bankman-Fried's voice has been heard since the start of the FTX Alameda collapse, he plans to speak with the New York Times columnist Andrew Ross Sorkin at the Deal Book Summit on Wednesday. What went wrong in Binance's role in the collapse? In the second interview with Sam Bankman-Fried, the Fong conducted on November 20 and released later on Tuesday, Bankman-Fried blamed FTX meltdown on a perfect storm of events that he nonetheless should have been more prepared for. It was a combination of a crash in the spring that took 50% out of assets value, combined with a hyper-correlated crash scenario this month in which simultaneously we saw a 50% decline in relevant asset price over a 2-day period, combined with a complete run on the bank on FTX, combined with the fact that there's a margin position on FTX that was substantially larger than it appeared to be, Bankman-Fried said. Continued that the combination of all those put together meant that what appeared to be extremely well capitalized position on the exchange over the last 6 months became effectively unable to meet its liquidity obligations, and those were demanded at the same time. When asked whether he thought FTX would be okay now if Binance CZ hadn't expressed doubts in the company following Coindesk scoop about the instability of Alameda's balance sheet, Bankman-Fried said, "It was a good question. I think things will certainly be a lot more stable and a lot more ability to generate liquidity, but there'll still be too much margin in the system." Bankman-Fried response. I think it's kind of 50-50. So yes, I think that CZ really have a big part in making this crash sooner than it should have. Because I mean, if he would have never said anything about them dumping the FTT coin from Binance, I think they would have probably carried this circus around a little more, like maybe another half a year once we really know where the market stands. Because I don't think, a lot of people, like we checked earlier, if BTC goes to 10,000, we haven't hit a bottom yet. Until that BTC, if it does hit 10,000, then we call that a bottom. For now, it's bottoming out right now. So the regrets. Bankman-Fried noted that in retrospect, he wished there was someone else at the company who was specifically in charge of risk management and liquidity, and that another issue was that the company had spread itself too thin. In particular, he said FTX spent an enormous amount of energy on trying to get regulatory licenses, while we could probably have been more selective on the front end and spend less of our time on that. SBS also said that he felt particularly bad for the people who believed in him, trusted him. As for himself, he said, "I don't know what the future holds for me. It's pretty unclear. It's certainly not the future I once thought it once was." And that was it for today's news article. But yeah, I mean, this guy is, I think he's going to go to jail. He should be going to jail. People are waiting for that. People are just debating how long is he going to go to jail for? Because he lobbied a lot. He put a lot of money in a lot of politicians' pockets, so that could probably help him. But I mean, I don't know what has going to happen, honestly, with this guy. Hopefully, he doesn't get funding for another project anymore. But people. I know he was pushing for regulation, and that was the reason CZ was going after him, because CZ doesn't want regulation because he's not that FTX was working out of the United States, but they were trying to work with the regulators in the United States. Binance is not, they're out in Saudi Arabia or something. I don't know exactly where, but they're out of the country, and that would hurt their business in America if there was a lot of regulation. So, I mean, what's the the moral of the story? Don't be. I mean, I started to tell, like, I'm trusting Coinbase. I'm putting a lot of trust on Coinbase. I've been using Coinbase for a while, and that's all I did. I opened up an FTX account. I never put money in there. I did get burned with Boyer. Voyager and FTX was supposed to buy them out because they went bankrupt, but that didn't happen. So I think that money is gone. I didn't lose too much. It was so good. It was like maybe $300, but still, we should lose. Nobody wants to lose money, right? So that's gone. And right when I got into crypto, I basically, I mean, when I started trading, not when I got into crypto, when I started trading, that's when I consolidated all my cryptos in one exchange, and that was Coinbase. All of that stuff, everything, it took out everything from everything, all my other exchanges and put it all in Coinbase. I mean, there's risk there, but also, like you can see, if you put in money in all these other exchanges, if you did put money in all those other exchanges, I had money in Block 5 as well, but I'm glad that I took that out, it just happened to, I got lucky about that, from that one. But yeah, guys, just be careful out there. Know the risks. We've been talking about trading in this channel. We understand the risks, so we are willing to take that risk for the profits. If we lose, we lose. That's how you gotta take it. So don't ever put more money than you're willing to lose. That's the rule of thumb when it comes to trading or investing in crypto. I mean, in anything, right? You don't want to put too much money that it might be possible you could lose, especially in crypto. So thank you guys. I'm gonna try to post some more content more often. I know I've been neglecting the channel a little bit. I don't want to do that. I want to keep talking about crypto because a lot of people aren't talking about it as much anymore. It's not as popular because people are losing money. So that's the thing. But we're still holding strong. We're still buying the dip on our favorite coins. Non-financial advice. Do what you got to do, but understand this: we're here, and hopefully, if we get to stick it out through this 1 year. Hopefully we get that big return that we've been waiting for, because we're still holding. But anyway, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good rest of your day.